Meadowview Christian students rode out the January 12th storm from their classrooms and came out unharmed, but the devastation around the school made them scared to return to campus. So kindergarten teacher Rachel Colley asked Canines for Christ's Lynn Sanders to bring her therapy dog, Nick, to reassure the kids that it was safe to be at school again.
We're Sky Hill Animal Society, which we do, we have an adoption program for dogs coming out of the shelter, and then we foster for like Saber Sanctuary and different things like that for the women who need a place for their dogs to stay while they're finding a place to stay. So what our Canines for Christ dogs do is we visit a couple of the local nursing homes, and we just go in and make their day better, and they brighten all up. We do a lot with Cahaba Center with adults with developmental disabilities, and they love Nick. Nick's a great reward to come in sometime. And then we have a reading program where individual children, parents may contact me, and they sit and read with Nick. As I was telling the kids earlier, the more kids read out loud, the better kids read. Another thing that Canines for Christ does is disaster response. They've gone in when there's been school shootings and there's been disaster areas and things like that. But I also knew that the kids didn't need to talk about what happened. They needed to not think about what happened for a little bit. School needed to be a safe place and a fun place to come again.
Colley came up with the idea from her daughter, who is a student teacher in Elmore County that was also hit by a tornado and is using therapy dogs for their students.
She and I were talking, and she said their school had therapy dogs. And I thought, wow, what a great idea. Most children, we were talking about experience and trauma last week with the tornadoes, because of course we were in school when it happened, and although we tried to keep them as unaware as possible, after they ventured out and saw the damage, they knew what happened. So I thought Lynn was the first one. I've known Lynn a long time. So I immediately messaged her and said, do you have any kind of therapy dog or anything that we could come into the schools for the children? And she said, call me. Most of these kids are not going to respond to counseling, quote unquote, but we thought this would be a good way for them to just have a happy day, smile, just a distraction from last week, because some of them, and even us as teachers, are still processing what happened.
Nick's visit took the children's minds off the storm and made them laugh and smile, which Sanders said was much needed. For more news out of the January 12th tornado, visit selmasun.com and follow us on social media.